Okay, good day everyone, it's Steve here. I'm delighted to be joined today by two very good friends of mine, David Olkin and David Garson. Just to confuse things, two Davids. How are you doing, guys?
Very well, Mr. Mead, how are you?
I'm very, very well, Mr. Olkin. So, David, we've known each other for some time now. Obviously got introduced to David G around about 12 months ago when you started up, or actually it was before that, wasn't it? The Avid partnership. I think time's flown recently. I wanted to speak today a little bit about the Avid partnership and what it's about, why people should use it, and effectively just give the audience out there just an idea as to what sort of things that you offer. David, obviously, as I say, we've known each other for a while. You got involved with David. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I've known David for many, many, many years, and I was working on a metaverse project which involved offices and avatar-based real-life working. And David came in with me literally, it must have been 12 to 14 months ago. And we started assisting companies during COVID to enable them to work and be together via the metaverse. And on the back of that, because of David Garson's background, which I'm sure you'll hear about very shortly, we got involved in physical office space as well. Okay,
so David G, what is that background? Why are you the expert in this particular field?
First, it's very generous you calling me an expert, Steve, and I appreciate that. My background originally was giving you the quick elevator pitch, as it were, like the Americans like to say, is that I studied property at university, urban development and policy, working on new cities and towns, and how people are going to live and work in the future. And then obviously it sort of moved full circle. I went into investment banking, left investment banking, don't hold that against me, please. And I went into the property world. And what I discovered going back into the property world, into the commercial real estate world, is the world is changing and evolving very, very quickly. And it sort of dovetailed quite nicely in what David and I were trying to do in the metaverse. Obviously, no one was using offices. People were questioning the way they were going to work going forward. And what we've seen is that really hasn't ended yet, but it's developed in the last couple of years. So, interestingly enough, on a Tuesday, I think, or Monday, whatever it is today is, that we're all at home, working from home, the famous WFH. I mean, I'd never worked a day from home in my life. Prior to starting the metaverse. So now what we're looking at is hybrid working situations, and the avatar business and the metaverse that David spoke about really dovetails quite nicely into our office business. And what we're seeing now is that, and as you'll know, we'll talk about a couple of your clients that we've helped already, Steve, but what we've really seen is that the world has changed and people want flexible workspaces. And normally when people hear about flexible workspaces, they think of the old blue carpeted Regis, or you can take box A, box B and box C. But just to give you an example, in London we've got over 1,700 workspaces to choose from, and these are all you don't have to deal with things like leases and paying rates to the local authorities. It's bundled in as a package, so you sit there, the desk is there, everything's there for you. And because we firmly believe that one size doesn't fit all, we've moved away from that blue carpet model of filling a room with X amount of people. And now we've got, fantastic workspaces all over the world, really. And, that's what we helped your clients. I mean, we've helped some people in New York now, in London, we're truly global, and excited to help other people. And, obviously one of the main things for me and for you and your clients is that we don't charge any fees.
Yeah.
And I think, people look at that and they find that quite extraordinary. How do you do that? Because we're retained by the landlords. So, we work with all these different landlords. We're not tied to one specific one. We're an independent company. We can talk about how let's see if any of your people have got why we're called Avid. I'm sure some couple of them have cracked it already. But we took a long time sort of working through that strategy for the name, as you can imagine. But what it really is it's about being able to offer clients something that works for them, not trying to shoehorn them into a strategy. And sort of saying, okay, you've got 20 people that work from home. Well, we can deal with the avatar business. They can still be in contact with, with everyone in the office, but they don't have to necessarily feel apart from that. But then we have another group of people, especially the younger generation, the 20-year-olds, etc., who want to be in the office, want to be collaborating, want to be working together, but then want a fun workspace as well. So, you may want a roof terrace. It might be important to you. You may want amazing breakout space. You may not want that at all. You may want us to build you a call center or something along those lines. But really, we work with you. And I think that's the key thing. Your clients, understanding your clients, understanding what they need, and not necessarily tying them into long-term leases or long-term. So, well, you know this, Steve, when I speak to most people, we speak to people about strategy. And I say to people, what's your strategy? Realistically, people don't really have a strategy more than 2 years. You speak to most CEOs, and I can tell you this from my banking days when I was, bringing companies to market, and you speak to, fast-growing tech companies, you know where you are for the next year and a half, 2 years. But in property, you're told to go and take a lease for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense whatsoever. No. So what we want to do is we want to have stuff that's off balance sheet for a start, give you that ability to grow and to be able to change your business model so that the property works with you, your business, rather than your business having to fit into your property needs. And really just to mean that you can concentrate and focus on your business, not having to worry about when a light bulb gets changed, if a leak happens. That's all taken care of you. If you want to be in Canary Wharf, for example, you can be in Canary Wharf. If you then find out in a year's time that it doesn't work for you, come and move to a different part of town, or expand into Leeds or wherever it is you want to be, or you need 3 desks in New York because you're working on a New York project. We can do that for you.
Right. So the key word really is flexibility, David, by the sounds of it. I was going to ask you the question, what the $64 million question, why use the Avid partnership? I think you pretty much answered that. And it's true, I've obviously the 2 clients that we placed in York and Leeds, or that you've placed on my behalf.
Yeah,
that's what they've come back to me and said. It's just the fact that there is so much flexibility. The service that you guys offer is second to none. They're more than happy with what they're doing, and obviously, I know you're talking to other people on my behalf. So,
absolutely,
I would expect and fully, and you will give them that same courtesy. I know that. So, David O, you're sort of, what's your involvement in the business as a whole? Are you effectively out there doing viewings, or it's silly questions it might sound like, but obviously, we work in the property sector. We work with loads and loads of estate agents. Are you out there? Do you do the viewings? Do you put the contracts together, or how's that all work?
We pretty much do it from start to finish. So we will basically be tied up with a client. You'll introduce us to someone, introduce us to somebody. We will prepare a bespoke report for them with a short list of viewings of different properties. And the majority of the time, we will go out with them and view the properties together.
Yeah.
And then following on from that, there'll be a short list. We will also negotiate prices and all the terms and get them all moved in. So we pretty much are with them from start to finish.
Okay. And as far as David G, as far as costings are concerned, one thing that the guys did say to me was that, from the initial quotes that were given, you negotiated an absolutely fantastic deal on their behalf. Is that something that is, do you base the business around that, the fact that you're able to offer that, not just the great service, but, from a financial point of view, really, really great deals?
Absolutely. I think that's the interesting thing, Steve, because I think when you look at a lot of people that, are going down the lease route, have always been down the lease route, it's sort of a weird negotiation. And then you also spend a fortune on lawyers and contracting. 95% of our business is done through license agreements to 2-page documents that are pretty standard. You don't need to spend a fortune. Not going to cost you 3 months. Your lines are in as well. But I think for us, it's more than just looking at the sticker price. It's getting the client out 90% of the time, or 50% or 60% of the time. I think when I go out with a client, they tell me what they want, and then we go and view a variety of things. And trust me, what they actually go for in the end isn't what they think they will, where they started, because we've got such great options.
Yeah, it's not like you say, it's just not the standard Regis offering, is it?
No, we work with Regis IWG, don't get me wrong, but one size does not fit all. No. And I think that's the real key thing, is that, what's right for Steve necessarily isn't right for David O.
Listen, guys, I appreciate both of you coming on. Obviously, if there's anybody out there who wants to have a look at, if they're thinking of moving, they're upsizing, downsizing, get in touch with me. I'll put you in touch with the guys. And believe me, the service that they offer is absolutely fantastic. Guys, see you later. Thanks for joining me today. Catch up with you soon.